For generations, Enterprise has signaled the cutting edge of American naval power, but today a $13 billion myth hides crucial facts. The new Ford-class Enterprise is often misreported. Milestone dates and what $13 billion actually buys are frequently misunderstood. Yet the stakes go far beyond numbers. This 100,000-ton mobile airbase is not just a symbol. It is designed to redefine how the United States projects air power in an era of rising threats. So what is the real story behind its timeline, its cost, and its purpose? The truth changes how we see the Navy's future, if you know where to look. Enterprise is a name that carries weight in the U.S. Navy, handed down through generations of warships since the days of the American Revolution. With the new Enterprise, the Navy is not just reviving a storied name for tradition's sake. This ship stands as the 9th to bear the title, and it is the 3rd Gerald R. Ford-class carrier, a direct link between naval heritage and the most advanced technology afloat today. The decision to name CVN-80 Enterprise came as the previous bearer, CVN-65, retired after over half a century of service. That legacy of nuclear propulsion, global reach, and frontline presence sets a high bar. Now the new carrier is being built by Huntington Ingalls Industries at Newport News, Virginia, the same shipyard that delivered her predecessors. Here, thousands of workers shape more than just steel. They build the centerpiece of a future carrier strike group designed to operate far from home and carry American air power wherever it is needed. Enterprise's identity is more than historic. In the Ford-class lineup, she sits at the cutting edge of naval evolution, following Gerald R. Ford and John F. Kennedy. Each ship in this class is a leap forward, meant to serve as a mobile air base, capable of launching and recovering aircraft at a pace and scale no other nation can match. The symbolism of the name is real, but so is the mission: to deliver sustained combat power from the sea, adapting to threats that change as fast as technology itself. For the Navy, the return of Enterprise signals both continuity and transformation, a ship that honors its lineage while reshaping what a carrier can do. Milestone dates for the new Enterprise often appear muddled in the press, but the official record is clear. Huntington Ingalls Industries cut the first steel for CVN-80 on August 24, 2017, a moment documented in Navy photo archives and marked by the presence of Olympic champions Simone Biles and Katie Ledecky, who were named as the ship's sponsors that same day. This steel plate, set aside from the very beginning, became part of the carrier's foundation, tying the future of naval aviation to a tangible moment in Newport News. The next major milestone came nearly 5 years later. On April 5, 2022, the structural keel was laid 3 weeks ahead of schedule. While the technical work happened quietly, the public authentication ceremony followed on August 27, 2022, with Navy officials and shipyard leaders on hand. These two events, first steel in 2017 and keel authenticated in 2022, anchor the verified timeline, even as some sources mistakenly cite earlier or later dates. Every step in the construction process is tracked and certified by both the Navy and Huntington Ingalls Industries, making these milestones more than just ceremonial. They serve as the official start and backbone of the ship's assembly, and they set the pace for everything that follows: block integration, hull completion, and eventual launch. By establishing these dates with precision, the Navy and its shipbuilders aim to keep the project accountable, even as the program faces the same schedule pressures seen across the Ford class. The facts behind these milestones matter, not just for the record, but for understanding how a $13 billion warship comes to life, one verified step at a time. The numbers attached to Enterprise are as outsized as the ship itself. The headline figure, roughly $13 billion, covers procurement alone, the steel, electronics, labor, and systems that turn a blueprint into a warship. This sum, finalized in the Navy's fiscal year 2024 budget at just over $12.8 billion, reflects not just the cost of building a carrier, but the scale of what's being created. At full load, Enterprise will displace around 100,000 tons, making her one of the largest moving objects ever built by humans. That mass isn't about spectacle. It is the physical backbone of a mobile airbase designed to carry a full air wing, fuel, munitions, and supplies for extended operations far from shore. The ship's size directly feeds its mission. With space for about 75 aircraft and enough stores to sustain high-intensity flight operations for weeks, Enterprise is built to generate sorties at a rate no other Navy can match. Each ton supports the fuel tanks, weapons magazines, and maintenance shops that keep planes flying and the crew ready. The carrier's displacement also enables the redundancy and survivability needed in modern combat: more armor, more compartments, more room for backup systems. Congressional watchdogs like the Congressional Research Service and the Government Accountability Office track these costs closely. They note that while the $13 billion label draws headlines, it is only the starting point. Over a 50-year service life, operating and maintaining a ship of this scale will cost many times more. But the Navy's argument remains. Such mass and investment are the price of being able to deliver overwhelming air power anywhere on Earth, whenever the call comes. At the heart of Enterprise's combat power are two A-1B nuclear reactors, each capable of producing about 190 megawatts of electricity. That is more than a 25% jump in electrical output compared to the previous Nimitz-class carriers, and it is not just a number on a spec sheet. For engineering teams, this power surplus means more than running lights and radar. It is the foundation for everything that happens on the flight deck. With nearly 380 megawatts available, Enterprise can support the next wave of energy-hungry systems, from high-powered sensors to future-directed energy defenses, all while keeping the ship's core operations running without compromise. This electrical backbone enables the Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, EMALS, a leap beyond the old steam catapults. Instead of using pressurized steam, EMALS relies on electromagnetic force to sling aircraft off the deck with precision. The result is a smoother, more controlled launch that puts less stress on both planes and pilots. Flight deck crews can dial in the exact force needed for each aircraft type, from heavy strike fighters to lighter drones, maximizing efficiency and safety. Reliability figures for EMALS now stand in the high 90s, a testament to years of refinement and hands-on troubleshooting. For the air wing, this translates directly into faster turnaround, higher sortie rates, and the flexibility to launch more sorties per day than any carrier before it, a true operational edge in high-tempo combat scenarios. On the shipyard floor in Newport News, the process looks nothing like the blueprints and paper trails of past carriers. Enterprise is the first U.S. Navy aircraft carrier to be designed and built entirely with digital tools. Every part, from hull blocks to living spaces, begins as a three-dimensional model. This digital thread links design, construction, and future maintenance, allowing engineers to spot clashes, adjust plans, and share updates in real time. Huntington Ingalls Industries reports that these model-based methods have trimmed construction cost by about 10 to 12%, translating to nearly $1.6 billion in savings across the Ford-class program. Roughly 15% of Enterprise's components are made using additive manufacturing, a leap that speeds up production and makes it easier to replace parts down the line. The digital revolution in shipbuilding does not erase tradition. At the steel cutting ceremony in August 2017, Olympic champions Simone Biles and Katie Ledecky were named as the ship's sponsors, a nod to both inspiration and continuity. Their names are now part of the ship's record, connecting the next generation of sailors to a living legacy. For the engineers and builders, the digital approach means fewer surprises and a faster path from concept to carrier. For the crew who will one day serve aboard, it means a ship that is easier to upgrade, maintain, and adapt, ready to meet challenges that have not yet been imagined. Even with digital design and new construction methods, the Enterprise faces a race against the clock. The Government Accountability Office flagged in its 2024 review that key systems, especially the electromagnetic aircraft launch system, have slipped behind schedule, pushing sea trials and commissioning into fiscal year 2026, quarter 3. This is not just a paperwork problem. Every delay ripples through the Navy's deployment plans, leaving gaps in carrier coverage and adding pressure to an already stretched shipbuilding workforce. But schedule risk is only half the story. The world outside the shipyard is changing fast. Pentagon assessments now warn that anti-access and area denial threats, A2AD, are no longer theoretical. China's DF-26B, a hypersonic anti-ship missile, can strike targets at 1,000 nautical miles. Russia's Kinzhal missile brings similar reach and speed. These weapons are designed to hold carriers at arm's length, challenging the very idea of a floating airbase operating near hostile shores. For Enterprise, survival and relevance will depend on more than just its own defenses. Carrier strike group escorts, destroyers, cruisers, submarines form a protective web, using layered sensors and interceptors to counter incoming threats. The carrier's power and promise only matter if it operates as the heart of a coordinated force, ready to adapt as missile ranges grow and adversaries refine their tactics. The future of American sea power rides on how well this balance holds, not just on the technology built into a single ship. Right now, CVN-80's price tag of $13 billion headlines the story, but its true cost and value will be measured over decades of contested seas. Its promise depends not just on technology, but on the Navy's ability to adapt to evolving threats. The Enterprise is built for the future, if we are ready for it.